Welcome back to the TowerDiveTV weekly tournament. This is number 41, and here with me today is Achilleos, and I am, of course, Gil Frost, and we're going into the picks and bans for this game. I believe you didn't catch who this game is, who are playing, did you?
No, I actually did not, but I do know that we are in the semi-finals of the tournament today. So that is exciting. So we're getting down to the wire here. We just got, a few more matches today, and then we'll be able to crown our victor for week 41. So taking a look so far, getting in here, it looks like we have casted in Twitch bans coming out here from the blue team, and then we have Vayne Lee Sin coming out from the purple team. So Twitch being the only one a little bit remotely surprising me. Now they're finishing it off with Thresh ban right there. But overall, fairly standard. I mean, like we were discussing before, Lee Sin, very, very powerful. Vayne as well, pretty consistently banned. So far nothing, no screwball, no curveballs here in these bans.
Yeah, that's the first ban we've seen on Vayne, but honestly, she's been picked or banned, I think, in every game. So yeah, it looks like Elise now locked in there for blue team, and we do have Shen and Jarvan coming out here for Team Purple. And we've seen all of them today on stream even.
Yeah, let's see. Let me get that Shen Jarvan. It's going to be very, very powerful combo, very tanky team, and we see that Elise. Once again, we've been seeing Elise so much lately. I mean, despite the nerf, again, she's just such a strong jungler, which I'm gonna go ahead and guess is what this Elise is going to be doing here. Looks like we might have a Varus coming out, which will actually be a first for today. And looks like we're gonna go ahead and see that lock. So we got Varus and Nami in the bot lane for the blue team. So that's gonna be a very interesting duo. We haven't seen Nami in a little while. It's been a lot of we've seen some Thresh and some Blitzcrank and stuff like that. But it'll be good to see Nami. I think Nami is a very underrated support champion, at least in the solo queue. She's got such a strong kit.
Yeah, I mean,
how can you ignore it?
Well, especially they've been gradually buffing her just very slowly. In this last buff, where it was a couple patches ago, I can't remember which one it was exactly, but the 1.5 stun, the timer on that up to 1.5 seconds puts it on par with like a Taric stun. I mean, naturally it's a skill shot, but it's also AoE. And then she's got some of that disengage, even that like Zyra has with her ultimate. So it's similar in that regard to Zyra. So just an amazing kit, and if you can land those bubbles, she is an extremely strong champion. Just not played that much in the solo queue, but definitely as we.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, she's got that slow, and then she can bubble off of that. And like you said, with the disengage, I mean, she can always bubble if you're in the retreat. She can cast it, essentially while moving. So she's very, very strong. So I would love to see more of Nami. It looks like the purple team's going to go ahead and bring out the Sona there. So we're going to Grave Sona in the bot lane. So it's going to be a very aggressive, very, very aggressive lane for them. So it looks like we're going to have a lot of dueling going back and forth in the bot lane. So this could be a very interesting matchup here to see who's going to come out on top, who can outpoke the other.
Yeah, and they're both going to have a fair amount of sustain as well with that heal. And I guess that's the other part of that Nami versus like a Zyra or some of these other champions is that sustain you get from the heal and utility from the damage as well. As we do have the final picks here for Team Blue. We got Renekton, and then Azereth actually picked up there for Team Blue.
See, I like this. This is another one that you don't see terribly often. At least that I don't see terribly often with that Xerath pick. He's set a really, really powerful siege AP. So I hopefully this guy, if you can land skill shots as a Xerath, you are golden. Like that is the one thing required of you, is to land skill shots, and then I guess to know how to actually build your champion, and you'll do just fine. So hopefully this Xerath can do just that, because if he can, he should have a pretty good time of picking apart the purple team.
Yeah, well, and that's really kind of what that was definitely a reaction pick to this team comp. I mean, the first four members, and even that Zyra, it looks like we'll see a mid lane Zyra here. But yeah, I mean, complete dive comp, even in that AD carry, that Graves is going to want to get in a little bit more into the battle, almost an AP or an AD caster in some ways. And so when you've got pretty much the max range AP champion there with that Xerath, he's going to be able to stay outside of these battles and hopefully get some damage done while the rest of his team dart around these team fights. And but yeah, interesting. I love Zyra mid. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Once again, both teams are going to have a little bit of disengage there with those two ultimates from Zyra. And but either way, that is our picks coming into this game.
So yeah, I mean, taking a look here, I mean, both teams have some pretty powerful engage. I mean, obviously we have the J4 combo with the Cataclysm. We have the Shen ultimate for that added support. So I mean, he could either split push or he can come down with his ultimate into a team fight if one breaks out. We have really solid either disengage or engage for purple with that Sona ultimate, but also just Zyra ultimate. So we have a lot of AoE ultimates, as we can see here from purple team. Graves, he's got that. It's just huge amount of damage on the front line, hitting everybody. So I mean, if they can really synergize their engages on a full blue team, they should be able to rip people apart. Because I mean, not to mention, you also have, following up with all of this, you also have a taunt coming out from Shen. So if you can get a 5-person, Sona ultimate into into a Zyra, into a Shen taunt with a Jarvan and Graves stacked on top of it, blue team is just going to melt. So blue's going to have to play very smart, but they do have some pretty decent counter ultimates here. I mean, Nami coming out with her wave. Really, really long range on that one. It's very, very wide. It's just about as wide, if not wider than Sona's ultimate. I'm not sure which one's actually wider.
It is a little bit wider than Sona's ultimate, but
it is, okay.
and obviously it's going to be longer. But yeah, and so I think that's going to be a big part of this game, is how Art Thief uses that ultimate to try to mitigate this dive AoE dive comp coming out here from Team Purple. I would have loved to have seen the misfortune there with that. Boom, 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 bullet time coming out there. But Graves will do, I think, in this team comp. So,
yeah, I mean, his ultimate will do pretty well with this. I mean, MF's is obviously, it's more like chipping them down rather than that burst. So Graves' ult here will be able to give them the burst that they need. Because, I mean, already most of their ultimates that they have on the purple team are designed for control rather than for damage. So they need to make sure that they have that really heavy damage ultimate there. But yeah, I mean, if Nami needs to be very, very smart about her ult, because she needs to make sure that she has it up, as they're getting ready to go into these fights here. If she doesn't, then her team is probably going to get ripped apart unless they can just straight up outplay purple. Even if Sona lands an ultimate, if Nami gets her ultimate off simultaneously, then they'll get the knock up, and purple team will be hitting the ground by the time the blue team is coming out of that stun. So they'll be able to still play against them. They won't just be locked down the entire time. And also, I mean, they have that Renekton. If Renekton can do well, if he can get very tanky, that's going to spell, it's going to do wonders for them, because he'll be able to just jump in, soak up a ton of damage, and then be putting out a bunch with just his kit, and then also his ultimate with that AoE.
No, most definitely. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a little bit of focus here in this top lane, trying to make sure that Renekton gets an early advantage against Shen, because we did see in that last game, when you get a snowballed Shen, it is going to make things difficult for you. And one way to nullify that global presence that Shen does bring to the table is to just shut him down early, and make sure that he can't even split push. He doesn't even have that option if you lose him too much early. I've seen that a number of times. So we'll see if Renekton and Elise tag team this top lane a little bit. We'll see. Either way, we are into the loading screen, and it looks like I'd have to give the skin advantage here to Team Purple. Warring Kingdoms, Jarvan, Blood Moon, Shen, and Silent Knight Sona, I think, take the cake here against Rune Wars, Renekton, and Blight Crystal Varus. But yeah, so this is we're into the semifinals here at the TowerDive TV weekly tournament number 41. This is Gilfrost and Achilleos, and we'll be entering in the game here shortly.
It's going to be one hell of a match. I think that this is probably, maybe aside from the finals here, we'll have to see how that one turns out, but this is definitely going to be the best match that is, occurring today. We have some some well matched teams here, very even, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
we'll see how they decide to go about this. Hopefully we won't just have a clean sweep. Hopefully we'll have some back and forth here, a little bit of tension, some excitement, and get things stirred up here this week.
Yes, indeed. As we are looking at the, we are in game finally here as both teams getting ready to square off here, exiting their respective bases. And as far as level 1 goes, I would expect to see similar action here as we have been seeing throughout this tournament, throughout this on stream anyway. And probably not too much action. We'll probably play the Vision Wars here, but yeah, as both teams kind of dancing around in groups. Ooh, actually, we do see some action coming out here. CJ Bulldogs takes a lot of damage. It's going to go down. First blood goes to Graves with that, and yeah, that is going to be a kill for him onto Elise, and a huge taunt there from Shen getting into the action. And yeah, that's going to be the, as soon as I say something, this is the caster's law. If you make a prediction, it is probably false, and yeah, showing that right there.
Yeah, just really making you eat your words right there.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Well, I was on a delay too there for a second, and that was either way, huge play. That's the first, the earliest first blood we've seen on stream today, and Graves is gonna be taking that with him in the form of a long sword on the top of his Doran's blade here in this lane.
Yeah, so I mean, coming back into, gonna be entering the lane right now. Graves sitting at 93. AD right now. Tavares is 70, so he is going to be chunking. Not to mention, he's going to, as long as he doesn't miss farm here, getting into lane after this leash, he's going to hit level 2 really early. They're going to be able to pressure this bot lane extremely well in the beginning here. So at least probably, I mean, she's picking up this red buff right now. She's probably going to have to make an early pit stop down to bot lane to try to get a kill on this Graves to really swing the bot lane back into blue team's favor. Because that first blood for Graves is enormous for the red team. So we'll have to see if they can, kind of capitalize on it. Looks like she's not going to opt to go to bot. So she's just going to continue on with her jungle. So Graves is going to be allowed to just hit 2, and then he's going to be able to get in here with his EQ combo and start doing a ton of damage to both Varus and Nami. So we're going to have to see how blue decides to play this, but they're already taking a good amount of poke damage from this Sona. So...
yeah, no, Sona doing a good job here. And as far as ward coverage, Team Blue did spot out this red ward here. And so Arthief did know that was there, and he did have a vision ward. So he did know that was there, and opting, instead of trying to gain some vision dominance here around the Tribush, going to be taking the vision dominance here in lane. And so very, very cognitively decided to do that. It's actually Milky being brought down in the top lane. A gank coming out here from Jarvan. And a huge kill there. Jarvan picking up the kill onto Renekton as CJ Bulldogs was in the area, but a little too late as, yeah, another kill going on in favor of Team Red in the bot lane. In the meantime, a little bit of action trade going down here as Team Red pushing this bottom lane as well.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. I mean, already they're pushing up the turret right now. Varus is sitting at about half health. Nami can't do much to sustain him right now. She's only level 2. She's already taking a little bit of damage. So she's going to try to heal him up as best as she can. But Graves already just getting in here, getting some free damage on this turret, taking it down pretty well, for a level 3 push right here. So Red, they're really trying to keep up that momentum that they got from that first blood. And so far, they're doing a really, really good job of keeping that and making sure that they're pushing these advantages that they have. I mean, they're already up 2 kills, 4 minutes into the game right now. So that's, the huge pick right there for both Jarvan and Graves. I mean, Jarvan picking up a kill that's going to help accelerate his jungle even further. So now backing, we see he's got boots, he's got a Doran's blade now. So he's going to be able to clear faster. He's going to be able to get around the map faster. So he's going to be, out ganking this Elise, it seems. Blue team needs to try to get a kill here to make sure that they counter this momentum that red team really has pushing.
Yeah, and right now Xerath, right now the victory, the small victory here for Team Blue, currently up about 10 minions there in the mid lane, doing a fairly good job of maintaining. Although this top lane, we missed it. Wicked Shot is there, and they did actually grab a pink ward here, and so they do have vision and dominance in this top lane. I'm So Milky did have a ward there, but he's going to get jumped on as Shen brought a ward to the party as well, and Ignite going off onto him. Nice pop-up there from Wicked Shot, and he's going to pick up his second kill in this top lane. Renekton now 0-2, giving 2 kills to Jarvan here, who is going to be getting a little out of control here. As Shen is now freely able to push. It's actually Blingy doing a lot of damage to Cheese Cookie there. Art Thief gets off a nice bubble, but forced to flash out there, taking too much damage here as IGU Soj is Graves anyway, just absolutely doing too much damage in this bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice bubble. They got a nice little bit of damage onto the Sona there, but just that Graves, once again, you know, that AD advantage that he currently has, he's able to just get in there, buckshot, and rip them to shreds. So they, despite the fact that, you know, those plays are nice, they're just going to pay for it dearly. So they just need to make sure that Varus is just farming well, and then maybe, you know, poking with his arrow in the meantime, you know, until he can back and buy some items and get caught up with this Graves. Right now, he's already down, you know, by about 10 CS, so he needs to really focus on just getting those minion kills rather than trying to get off, you know, the harass onto the enemy support.
Yeah, and I mean, they just don't have enough damage here to keep up with Sona's sustain as well. So, as once again, Eric, the only real winning team member here in lane, trying to get out some damage on the Zyra. Zyra is going to go ahead and back off and buy after that interaction, and Xerath may be able to get a little bit of damage on this mid turret, but we'll see here. He's going to be sitting on a little bit of gold as well. Actually, he just went back and bought, so. But either way, yeah, top lane, I'm Still Milky continuing to push his top lane. Does have a ward in his tri-bush. He's going to feel fairly safe, but at this point, he's just a little too far behind, and he's finding it hard to farm here in this top lane.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look already, we can see that the only person who's up in CS, you know, compared to their respective opponent, it would be Elise, you know, sitting at 32 CS over Jarvan's 25. But already we see that, you know, Jarvan has 2 kills. He has an assist. He's already got that Spirit Stone completed. Elise has hers, but, you know, once again, Jarvan's already up by that Doran's as well. So he is well ahead of her currently. He's already gotten a couple successful ganks off, whereas Elise hasn't really done much other than, you know, suffered a death one time. So she needs to try to, you know, turn around here, get some, you know, some really, really good ganks. Particularly, I think she should try to focus on the mid lane here. Xerath, he is, you know, he is going to become a force here if he's allowed to, you know, if he's allowed to get some kills. So she needs to get in here on the mid lane and try to get this Zyra locked down, because Zyra, she's a very, very squishy champion. So he needs to try to turn that lane for Xerath.
And actually, Jarvan coming in at the perfect timing here in the top lane. Lucky, actually, a huge land there from Art Thief, but it's not going to be enough. Did land that bubble, but Graves picks up the kill. And Jarvan entered this top lane just as the vision was fading away here for Team Blue. And with that kill, they're going to go ahead and turn that into a global objective of this dragon if they can here. Zyra going to go down to help as well. But 4-0, 12, soon to be about 13K, over 10 for Team Red here.
Yeah, doing really, really awesome job so far of, you know, just taking.
Oh, nice ultimate from Art Horse is going to get the damage down onto CJ Bulldogs and Ericon. They did know that they were going to be there. Art Horse is now being brought very low. Varus ult misses, though. Art Horse is going to escape, and that is going to be a dragon there. Xerath was going to try to steal that. CJ Bulldogs was in the area as well, but yeah, that ultimate there from Art Horse is was able to mitigate that and disrupt them enough that they were able to pick up an easy dragon.
Yeah, that was a pretty good collapse by the blue team. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make anything happen there. That was a really excellent Zyra ultimate. I mean, she saw them coming around. She, you know, managed to catch 2 of them up in the air. That was fantastic play by her, and could have potentially saved their team from, you know, either suffering a couple losses there, and also maybe even possibly losing the dragon. So very well played by her. Purple team just, you know, they're keeping with that early game. So far, they're doing a really fantastic job of maintaining the control in this match. You know, it's 4-0 right now. No turrets have been taken, but red team, sorry, is already sitting at a solid 3K gold lead here. So as long as they can keep pushing their advantages, blue team is not going to be a lot that they can do. They need to make sure that they're getting some picks here. They need to make sure that they're pushing objectives. Hopefully they time that dragon right there, so now they'll know when it's coming back up, and they can try to make a play for it when it comes back, because they need to get that global gold for their team, and that's why they need to be, just hard pushing their lanes as best as they can.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Renekton did have to back. Shen just backed as well. Renekton's back in the lane, but Shen clearly winning that top lane right now. And bottom lane, actually, Jarvan is coming in. They do spot this out. They may be able to get in there. Jarvan putting on the chase. The wave does land, and Arthief actually does narrowly escape that ultimate from Cheese Cookie, but it's not going to be enough as Graves picks up another kill. CJ Bulldogs is in the area as well. Wicked Shot being brought very low, but right now it's a 2v3, and they're not going to be able to do much about this. Blingy trying to get off a little bit of damage there on the tail end of this fight, but it's not going to be enough, and he knows he's not going to be able to hit that. As another turnaround here, using that very powerful Jarvan to pick up another kill here in this bottom lane. And right now, the reaction time and just the reactions that Team Blue are coming out with are just not enough as they lose again here in the spot lane.
I mean, he didn't even have to, EQ into the lane to get that kill. I mean, it's just walk down and just Cataclysm right on top of them for that.
And here he is again. Elise repels up into the air, being brought very low. CJ Bullets is going to be all right. Jarvan, though, coming in to save Sona there in the bot lane, and they may try to turn this into a turret. Ooh, we actually have a disconnection. Oh, there he is. He's back. Anyway. And it is going to be a possible 3v3 here in the bot lane, but there's no ultimate from Nami, so they're not going to be able to keep this chase on. And Jarvan's going to go ahead and back, and things are going to return to normal, at least for the time being.
Yeah, we had everybody in the bot lane really burn their ultimates, very recently, so that they weren't going to try to go for a dive right there. Maybe if Sona had her ultimate up, or if J4 still had Cataclysm, they might have tried to make something happen. But I'm So Milky getting picked down here at top.
Yeah, and Ignite's going off from both members. Barricade forces a flash out of I'm So Milky, actually. Barricade once more actually picks up the kill. One Vorpal Blade will do the trick, and he's going to return to lane again with that kill.
Yeah, see, the Vorpal Blade is such a powerful ability. It does a great amount of damage, especially, for just a ability on a tank. It does such a great amount of damage, and it offers Shen so much sustain. And he's already working himself back up to half health right now from where he was, extremely low going under the turret right there. So a lot of people underestimate that ability right there, and I mean, we can see he's already getting ready to build this on fire. He's probably going to be able to buy it when he backs right now. He's sitting at 1200. It only costs 930 to complete that Sunfire Cape, so he's going to be able to pick that up when he gets back, which should be relatively soon here after he pushes this wave into the turret, and that's just going to give him more pushing power.
Oh, is a huge ultimate coming out of there from Cheesy Cookie onto that Nami is going to give another kill here to Graves in the bottom lane. Blingy now by himself. They may look for a dive, but Sona just popping that ultimate right onto Nami, and it did not stand a chance. Huge damage coming out. It's actually Cataclysm coming out here in the mid lane. Wicked Shot jumping onto Eric. Eric does not have flash. A nice ultimate from Art of the Horse as well is going to keep him locked down. And man, taking a lot of damage there. Zareth actually took a long time to die there, but is going to go down in the middle lane. That's the first time he's died, and actually Jarvan picking up that kill. 3 kills for him, and they're going to he's going to go ahead and give Art Horse blue here as well. Off of that.
Wow. He did eat quite a bit of damage there. I mean, he did have a barrier that he popped, and he's also got that MR off the Athene's on Holy Grail, so Zyra not quite hitting him for as hard as she would, as I'm sure that she would like to. But actually, Jarvan, taking that kill right there from Zyra, so Zyra not able to get any so far, but doesn't seem to be hurting the red team at all thus far in the match.
I mean, that is one nice thing about having a champion like Zyra in the mid lane, is that her kit is going to give her a certain amount of utility no matter what. As it looks like Barricade trading a little bit of damage there, or really just taking a little bit of damage from Elise. Not too worried about that. But when you've got Zyra, even if she doesn't get fed, I mean, she can do a lot of damage if she does get some kills. But either way, she's going to have that ultimate. She's going to have that CC, and so. Yeah, not going to be the worst thing in the world, but definitely an interesting play there for Team Red here as they are continuing to push these lanes.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job making sure that she is still relevant in the fights here. I mean, making sure that she gets that blue buff. It's putting her ultimate on, just about an 86-second cooldown. So she's going to have it pretty frequently. She's going to have it when they need it. So right now, when, here pushing for this dragon, she's going to have it up in a matter of seconds now. So they're just making sure that she's, she might not be getting the kills, but she's still keeping her relevance in these fights. So that's good on the red team here. So make sure that their AP is staying in it regardless of getting kills or not.
Yeah, no, and they are going to go ahead and pick up the dragon. They did have the timer. Nami tries to get in there, but it's not going to be enough, and they're going to go ahead and get another dragon here for Team Red. And yeah, continuing to lead this game now by about 6K as Barricade continues to just harass I'm So Milky at a lane in the top lane. And yeah, they're going to look at taking another turret here, it looks like, as 4 members posturize in mid.
Yeah, and this is exactly what they need to do. They have this advantage. They need to just get in here, take the objectives. It's only just going to further propel them into the lead here.
Yeah, as Zyra ult does not hit anybody, it does push everyone else back. Arthief did land a nice bow there, but they just did not have enough to follow it up with. And so, yeah, that turret's still alive, but only by a bit here.
Yeah, it was a really good amount of damage coming out on that turret. I mean, one more push in. They still have Renekton in the top lane who's recalling right now. So they're going to be able to push in here. Greaves, he's got that AD. He's got the Bloodthirster already. He's going to be able to get in here, and there goes the turret right there. Now Shen left alone in the top lane. He's going to be able, with his wave coming back in, he's also going to be able to get in here and just push up against this turret. So we might see blue team losing their last 2 tier 1 turrets right here. Graves coming up to support and make sure that they do secure it. So that is a huge for the red team, just really making sure that they don't give blue team an inch in the, not even a single chance to try to come back in this match.
Yeah, no, and methodically taking down both those turrets at the same time here, and they're now going to try to get on Graves, but that very scary blocker in Shen's going to go and ward him off. But yeah, it looks like Team Blue, though, trying to take back something. Jarvan and Sona are probably not going to be able to do much here against this, although that Jarvan is looking fairly tanky there, and he's with that Spirit of the Ancient Golem. It's going to be doing a fair amount of damage, but they may lose this mid turret here. Zyra is now joining the fight. Jarvan actually jumps in there. Sona ult comes out as well. The bubble is going to jump Wicked Shot up, but he is almost full health, and a huge taunt there from Shen. That ultimate coming out from him as well. The repel coming up from Elise, but it's only going to delay the inevitable as that she actually pops that flash to try to get out of there. Shen pops that ghost, though, and that is going to be a kill in the hands of Zyra. As actually it looks like Arthief also had to flash out of there. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and return safely. Graves going to try to protect this top lane, but a nice turnaround there from Team Red, getting a 3-4-0 with a nice job from all team members, but Jarvan initiating that fight especially. Yeah, on the highlight reel probably as well.
Yeah, wow, that was a fantastic play, and that's exactly what this team is designed. What their team comp is designed to do. They had all of those ultimates so just well synergized. I mean, immediately, we had the Jarvan ult go off, we had the Sona into the Zyra with Shen porting in that whole time, but it looks like Graves might actually take it down in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm So Milky doing a lot of damage. Pops his ultimate. Yeah, it looks like Graves did have to pop his flash to get out. And that's a good trade for Renekton actually there in the top lane. He's going to get out some more damage onto this turret as well with that minion wave.
Yeah, he also managed to grab his barrier as well. So, 2 summoners and a good bit of damage. Actually, it looks like Graves is just going to be able to force him right back off the turret. So, unfortunately, he can't pick that up, which is something that blue team needs to try to close this gold deficit. They're currently down by 4 towers. They don't have any kills to, red team's 11, and they're almost down by a 10k gold deficit right now, just barely 19 minutes into the match. So blue needs to make some enormous plays to try to come back right now, and it's going to be very interesting to see if they can actually pull it off. It's going to be very difficult for them to do.
No, most definitely. Once again, 0 kills right now for them. And yeah, I mean, Jarvan. When you have a Jarvan who can just jump into even these situations where it may be outnumbered here for a few seconds. If he's able to initiate these fights and just wait for his team to show up and finish with those ultimates, yeah, it's gonna be an uphill battle here for Team Blue.
Absolutely.
But once again, if you are just now joining us or recently joining us, this is Gil Frost and Achilleos, and we're here at the Twitch, the TowerDiveTV 41st weekly tournament. And right now we're in the semifinals. And right now, Team Red vying for their spot in the finals and making a very good show, while Team Blue trying desperately to stay in this single elimination tournament best of one.
Yeah, and they are giving it their all, but so far it just hasn't quite been enough. Something we did miss actually was Graves getting a really nice blue steal off from that Elise over in Deep Blue Jungle. But here we see Renekton actually managing to finally push down the first turret for the blue team in the game here. He's going to opt to back, it seems, to help his team defend. Probably a good idea because they are putting pressure on from all sides right now. And it looks like they're going to be able to get in here and maybe even siege down, one of these tier 3, base turrets right now off the blue team. So this is going to be this is very important for the blue team right now to make sure they're defending everything, as best as they can.
Yeah. Time to siege up. And I mean, Nami, they do have a pretty good ability to siege up here with Nami as well as Eric there on Xerath, and then Blingy's going to be able to get some pretty good wave clear as well, and as I'm So Milky and Bulldogs. But right now Team Red going to grab that dragon on timer, on cooldown, and let's see how much gold they're sitting on. They may look to back after this, as Graves sitting on now 1,700 plus gold, and they're going to grab a few items and then try to push down this mid and bot turret.
Yeah, I mean, 1,700 gold, yep, there it is, the last whisper. I was just about to say that. Graves, just able to go ahead and complete that item off of his pickaxe. He's got that Zeal sitting there, so he's going to be building towards that, that Phantom Dancer, more than likely. Static Ship if he's feeling a little interesting, I suppose. But more than likely that Phantom Dancer to really synergize well with his E. But the red team here, they're sitting at, level 12, 13, 14, etc. But they could already just go in here and force this dragon. I don't think that the blue team would be able to get in there and really try to contest it. So if they wanted to really end this game early, which it seems like they do, as hard as they've been pushing these turrets, they could really just go force that Baron and then just walk straight into the blue base and rip them apart even more effectively.
Yeah, no, they are squarely in the lead, but looks like they're going to go ahead and leave that Baron open, knowing that there's no way that they can get it stolen away from them right now. If Team Blue goes for that, they are really spelling their own doom. As this red team would probably be 3 towers in, and on that Nexus, as they are now all in the bot lane, except for Shen split pushing in that top lane, and it could give us a 5v4 situation here under this bottom tower, as Shen can get in there. Renekton is going to be able to stop that Shen ultimate if he can get the stun off. And so we'll see here. It might be the case. We're going to see who can out stun and out teleport here, or rather that Shen ultimate here in the top lane. It's actually Graves now in the mid lane going to be pushing that up, and make sure all lanes here are pushing as Team Blue desperately tries to keep their turrets alive.
Yeah, but we see Graves, he's opting to, maybe not. He's deciding, there are waves there, they can see me. I'm not going to try to go sneak in behind this Renekton, because I don't want to get caught out or, underneath of a turret or anything like that. So I'm just going to go back and just fight this Nami in the mid lane, who's not going to be able to put up much of a fight. He's already just ripping this turret apart.
Yeah, Arthief by himself, not the champion you want, facing off against Graves, and so they're wisely going to get a couple, at least one more member. Elise is now going to be in that mid lane, but either way, Team Red is able to push up, as actually Art Horse does get in there with that ultimate, only going to hit Blingy, and not much actually comes of that. So interesting use there of that ultimate. We'll see how that plays out as these lanes continue to push very slowly.
Yeah, they're doing a very slow, wide, split push right now. So we're not seeing as much action. They're not going in just diving under turrets. But I mean, if we take a look at the mid and the bot turrets, mid's about to fall right now under Graves. Now opening up this mid inhibitor. Blue team's going to have to rotate over here to mid to try to stop this inhibitor. Really, they could still pit that J4 in the bot or something like that to try to push and get that bot turret as well. But I guess they're going to try to just all get in here and maybe try to take, siege down this inhibitor from under blue team's feet.
Looks like actually they are going to jump in and try to initiate a fight. Nami tries to get off a nice ultimate. It lands on a few. Sona actually misses her ultimate. Team Red taking a lot of damage. Bulldog's being brought very alive. That Cataclysm there coming out though from Jarvan is going to manipulate this fight a little bit. Graves picking up a kill on Arachne. Varus picking up a kill onto J4. That ultimate now coming out from Barricade onto Graves. Nami misses that stun, and it's not going to be enough as Graves stays alive in the back. Barricade jumping into the front. Zyra actually picking up a kill onto Varus. And right now, it's a 1 for 2, actually. A very slow and team fight with a ton of action, actually, as Bulldogs tries to stay alive and distract Team Red here. But it looks like that repel onto Graves is going to get her out of danger along with that Ignite. It's actually Aragon actually being brought down. That Zyra ultimate too much as he goes down, and it's going to be 4v1. Actually, Art Thief is now back up, so and Renekton now just being brought back up, but that is going to be 2 inhibitors down for Team Blue. 14-1. That was the first kill actually picked up. Varus picking up that kill for Team Blue, but at the cost of a lot. Team Red coming out big on that play.
Yeah, wow. I mean, everything was looking fantastic there for the blue team immediately following that Varus kill. I mean, they had Graves so low, but Shen just saving that ultimate for the clutch save right there onto Graves. They weren't able to finish off either Shen or Graves after the ultimate had faded. So just really unfortunate for the blue team, but everything looked so good for them at the beginning of the, in the mid of that fight. So I mean, if they could just play like that again, if there's another team fight that breaks out like that, if they could play like that again, but just make sure that they really focus and get down the Graves, and make sure that they get down, the Zyra as quickly as possible. Those are the targets they need to go for. If they can get that, I'm very confident that blue team, they can swing, an ace, and if not an ace, then they could make a, really solid effort to push for some red turrets here, because currently they only have that one turret in the top lane, so it's not doing much for them. J4 going in the jungle.
Yeah, Wickedshot jumps in there. Arthi taking a lot of damage, tries to get off that ultimate, is going to slow them down just a bit, but not enough. Graves picking up the kill onto Nami. Is going to clean up that kill on Azerath as well. A double kill for Graves, and that's going to set up an easy Baron if they want, but they just may try to finish this right here. At least been caught very out of position. And right now, some decisions coming down. It looks like they're going to, at the very least, look for this turret. Is actually Bulldogs being caught out there, and that is going to be another kill, actually, going in Zyra's hands. 3 for 0, and now Wickedshot jumping in onto I'm So Milky by Blingy trying to get trade some damage back and forth there as well. The Varus ult misses, and a huge ultimate from Zone is going to clean up the kill for Graves, and that's actually going to be the surrender coming out. I was wondering why all the action was happening there. It is a surrender for Team Blue. 18-1 here at 27.5 minutes, and Team Red advances to the finals. What a game, Achilles.
Oh, what a game indeed. It was, man.